Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for coming today. My name is Roxanne Fenton, and I am the Associate Director in Career and Professional Development. I'm joined by my colleagues, Eilish Russell, our Career Advisor, and Shay Seymour, our Coordinator. We're really glad to welcome you to our first event of the fall term and to talk about internships today. I'm going to talk specifically about internships for credit. These are the internships that our office oversees. So I'll talk about why you might want to take an internship for credit, answer some internship FAQs, show you how to register an internship for credit, and then talk about some things you should keep in mind while you're on an internship. Now, this is all around internship for credit, but I will leave time at the end. My presentation portion is not very long. I will leave time at the end for you to ask any questions about internships that you want to ask, and we will do our best to answer those. So let's get started. First of all, if you've got an internship for the fall term, congratulations on your internship. That's quite an accomplishment, and we want to recognize that. Now, you might be wondering, why would I do an internship for credit? Why would I request credit for an internship at ArtCenter? And this is something you may or may not have known that you could do. Hopefully, that's partially why you're here today. Why do an internship for credit? Well, it lets you waive another class or classes, depending on the number of hours that you work a week, and we'll go into that, and the number of the length of your internship. You can waive 1 or 2 classes for your internship. So that's classes that you don't have to take at another time. And the classes that you can waive really depends on your department. Another reason that you might want to waive those classes is that you don't have to be enrolled in classes, and it doesn't use a light term or a leave of absence term for you. So it's a term that you can be enrolled, but not in a class, but not using those other terms that you have a limited number of. And finally, you get additional support and check-ins from career and professional development during the term. So we are here to support the For Credit-Internships, help you communicate with your supervisor. We have check-ins with you to make sure everything is going okay, and we're here as a resource to help you. So let's get into some of the details about an internship for academic credit. And by academic, we just mean school credit. So this can apply to your studio classes. And in fact, that's usually what students waive with their internship credit. So you can apply a total of 12 internship units towards your degree audit. So that's 12 units that you can earn towards graduation taking internships for credit. Now, the maximum that you can earn in any one term is 6 units. So to do 12 units, you would have to do at least 2 internships, but you can earn a total of 12 units towards graduation. To be eligible for internships for credit, as an undergraduate, you need to have a minimum of 70 units and a 2.5 GPA. If you're a graduate student, you need to have earned a minimum of 30 units and have I think that's supposed to be a 3.0 GPA. I think that's a typo. It's a little bit higher for graduate students. The internship has to be at least 10 weeks long within the dates of the term. So you can do a longer internship and it can fall outside of our term dates, but to request credit, at least 10 weeks of the internship need to be within the dates of the term. And we cannot give credit for internships that have already passed. You have to request the credit in the term that you're doing the internship. So how many hours do you need to work to get the numbers of credit? So if you work 126 hours, which is just a little bit more than 12 hours a week for 10 weeks, you get those, you can earn 3 credits or 3 units. And if you work, there you go. If you work 252 hours over the course of the term, you are eligible for 6 credits that you can earn. International students on an F1 visa, always check your eligibility with the international student advisor. Check and find out if you need to be enrolled full-time for the term that you are looking at taking an internship. Because again, 6 units is the most that you can earn for an internship, which is only half time. So we always recommend students on F1 visas check your eligibility. You'll also need to meet with an international student advisor to get your work authorization. I'll say a little bit more about that in a minute. And we have a whole section of our website that is devoted to this information that we're sharing today. And as I go, Eilish is going to be popping links into the chat so that in addition to the recording of this workshop, which you can go back and view on our website, you can see all of the other information on our website. Okay, let's answer some frequently asked questions about internships and internships for credit. So you do not have to request credit for your internship. In some rare cases, this may be a requirement that the employer has, especially if you have found an unpaid internship. But generally speaking, you don't have to request credit for your internship. You do have to pay tuition for the credits that you are earning for an internship, but you only have to pay for those 3 or 6 units that you're taking. You don't have to get up to 9 or 12 units. You don't have to pay for any additional classes unless, say, you're doing a part-time internship and then you're going to take classes as well. Then you would obviously pay for those classes, but you do have to pay tuition for internship credit. You can take a term off to do an internship. In that case, you wouldn't be getting credit and you would need to complete a leave of absence form. So either of those conditions works. So if you don't do credit for your internship and you're doing a full-time internship, you can take the term off, but you'll need to file a leave of absence. The deadline to submit the internship registration paperwork is Friday of week 1. That's this Friday, September 15th. So that is the deadline for the internship registration this term. And finally, can you receive credit for a paid internship? Yes, you can. Your choice to get credit is totally independent of whether or not your internship is paid or unpaid. So as we go, if you've got any questions, please pop them in the chat. And I will double check and see. I see that we've got some things in the chat now. I think they're all links from Eilish. Let me just check and see if there's anything else going on. What is the right time to apply for a summer internship for 2024? That is an excellent question. And it depends on the company. Larger companies start looking for summer interns as early as late October, early November. So summer, because most colleges are off during the summer, applying for summer internships can be much further in advance. So if you are looking to apply for a summer internship for 2024, now is the time to be getting your materials together. You can make a career advising appointment with us. We can go over your application materials. We can talk to you about your internship search. All of that is absolutely something we can do. Do we have any other questions? The process is still the same for international students for full-time internships. There is a total limitation on the number of hours that you can work full-time under your CPT authorization. So that's another reason that we recommend you visit with the international student advisors. Had another question about international students. You can't register for internships until you've completed 2 terms. That is more or less true because you would need to be registered 2 terms for full time, and internship credit only gets you to half time. So unless you can find a way to get another 6 units, you can't do an internship even for credit unless you've done your 2 full terms. Any other questions about anything I've covered so far? Yeah, Josh, I see your hand up. You want to go ahead and unmute yourself? We are recording this, so just let you know that.
Sure. I think I heard you cover this, but I just want to ask it again so that my brain can hear it again. If I do an internship with, in my case, an advertising agency that is not part of the sponsored internship programs or, ArtCenter internship relationships, that can or cannot count for credit?
That can count for credit.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't have to find the internship through ArtCenter Connect, which is the internship listings that we have. You can find any internship, and as long as it meets the requirements, 10 weeks within the term is art and design related, you're going to get a good educational experience. You're going to be supervised by an experienced designer working in your field. You can register that for credit. Absolutely.
Okay. And my other question was, is it at the discretion of the department chair or department director to determine what class an internship can sub for?
Yes, that is correct. So it's up to your department what class you can sub your internship for. So we also recommend meeting with your department at the start of the registration process so that you can find out where those units can go. Specific to your degree audit, specific to your department, specific to what you're doing in that internship.
Got it. Okay, that's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. I'm going to go ahead and go on to talk to you about the actual registration process, because I know some of you might have an internship that you're thinking about registering for credit for this term. So let's talk about what you need to upload when you create your registration. And I'm actually going to demo this for you in a few minutes. So you need an offer letter or offer letter plus email that have all the 7 required pieces of information. That the organization is accepting you as an intern. You cannot do freelance job opportunities for internship credit. You need to be officially hired as an intern. We need the start and end dates of the internship. The total number of hours you'll be expected to work each week. Even if that's unpaid, we need to know that it's unpaid. The rate of pay, your internship position title. This is one of the things that most students have to go back and ask their employer for, is the name, title, work phone number, and email address of the person who's going to be supervising you. That's because we need to communicate with that person during the course of your internship and ask them for a couple of evaluations and some additional paperwork as a part of the For Credit internship process. And then finally, we need a brief description of your responsibilities and the educational value and relevance to your area of study that the internship is going to have. And this is because you're going to be getting credit for it. And so we want to know for sure that this is a good learning experience and that it's related to your major. So that's what we need in the offer letter. Many companies have a set offer letter that they write that they can't change. And that's fine. We can get an email from the company. You can get an email from the company and then upload that email with the additional information that might be missing from the offer letter. You need to upload a copy of your degree audit, which can be found under the student dashboard on Inside ArtCenter. So that's so that we can check your eligibility in terms of the number of credits you've earned and your GPA. And then if you are an international student, you will need to meet, and you're working in the United States, this does not apply to international internships, but if you're working in the United States, you will need to get work authorization. And the international student advisors, who you can email at international@artcenter.edu, are the ones to help you with that. There's a form that you need to fill out. They will update your I-20, and we need that updated copy of your I-20 showing that you have work authorization. So that's all what you need to upload. And I will show you in a minute where you go to upload that. It's on ArtCenter Connect. There are 3 stages of approval for an internship record. All steps have to be completed for your internship to be approved. So first is it's reviewed by our office, by Career and Professional Development, and we're looking to make sure that you have everything that's required uploaded and that your internship meets all the qualifications. Then it's reviewed by your academic department, and they're the ones who actually put in the courses that you are going to waive with the internship. Finally, it goes to enrollment services, and they enroll you in the classes. And when all of those steps are complete, you get an email from us confirming that your internship is fully registered. Okay, so we've been sharing resources as we go, but I do want to do a live demo of where you go to, there's my button, of where you go to update your, to register your internship. Let me just a minute, take this off of full screen. So you go to ArtCenter Connect, and Eilish will put the link for that in the system. Students, alumni. You would go to current students and sign on through with your inside login. Our demo student doesn't have one, so I'm going to sign in separately. Oh, the password has expired. Okay, now I'm in. All right, so when you come into ArtCenter Connect, you may see some surveys. If you haven't logged in yet this year, you may see some surveys. We have one is an acknowledgement of best practices in terms of accepting job and internship offers. And the other is some information about potential job scams that we want to be sure you know. So once you completed those, you'll get to your homepage. And this button right here, internship registration, will take you into where you need to be. And then you just click add new experience.
Hi, I don't do a screen. I'm only seeing participants. Is that anybody else, or is that just an English?
I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear what you said. Can you move a little closer to the mic and ask again?
I think she was saying that we hear you talking, but you're not sharing a screen. And so I don't think she was sure if you were meaning to not share a screen or not.
Thank you. I was meaning to share a screen. Let me back out of this. So once you get logged into ArtCenter Connect, once I find my mouse, there we go. Once you get logged into ArtCenter Connect, you're going to click on this internship registration button right here in the top. And then you're going to click Add New Experience. And then you're going to fill out this form. You acknowledge that you know you're being charged tuition, put in your student ID number, choose your major, and you actually have to go into the little arrow to find all the internships. We'll do interaction design. Acknowledge whether you are studying on an F1 visa and if your internship is located in the United States. Identify whether it's a remote, hybrid, or in-person internship. So I'm going to say, no, this is an internship, the in-person internship. We do still have a COVID-19 policy. The policy at the moment, there aren't many requirements. So that's not a big deal. You provide 2 emergency contact numbers. And I just realized that one of these is out of order. It's a good thing I double checked this. I'll get that straightened up so that it's all contact number 1, relationship, phone number. So this is in case something would be happen while you're on your internship and we needed to get a hold of someone. And then you search for the internship information. So you can search and see if the company is in the database. So let's see, there's HP. Let's say this person has an internship with HP. We select that. If you don't find your employer in there, you can type it in the new company field. Location of the internship, we're going to say it's in Austin, Texas. If you applied for the job on ArtCenter Connect, it would show you internships that were listed for that company. And you can select an intern. That's a really old one. You wouldn't select that. So let's just go back to show current. Then you're going to fill out the information that you know about your internship. The position title. So let's say this is UX, UI internship, intern. Select internship. Select how you heard about this. Could be any way that you found out about it. Select the term that you're doing the internship. So this is for fall 2023. Select the first date of your internship. Let's say this started on Monday and is going to go through December 22nd. Then you have to count the number of weeks. And this is the number of weeks that the internship takes place during the ArtCenter term. So this internship that I just entered goes a week beyond the end of the term. So it's going to be a 14-week internship during the term, and it's going to be 40 hours a week. Then we do the total number of hours. Again, only count the weeks that fall during the internship term. Compensation type we'll say is hourly. Rate of pay we'll say is $25 an hour. Supervisor name. This is where you put in the name of the person you're going to be working under. I'm not going to make stuff up. I'm just going to get going here. Supervisor title, supervisor email, supervisor phone. So that's all the information about your internship. Then you select the number of credits that you want. So even though this is a full-time internship and this person's going to be working 40 hours a week, and they certainly would qualify for 6 credits, let's say they only need 3 credits and that's all they're going to select. So you don't have to take the full credits that you're eligible for. Then you're going to fill out 3 learning objectives. And these need to be written about things you are going to learn. So the learning objective is going to be to develop skills at rapid prototyping of, I got multiple typos in there. Rapid prototyping of app page views learned. Oh, wow, I can't type today. Working on app pages with senior members. The design team. So that we know that you're getting, we know that what you're getting in the internship is stuff that you will really be learning and is really going to add to your growth as an artist or a designer. So you add 3 of those. I'm only going to do 1. And then you add the attachments. So you add your attachment from your computer. I'm not going to add anything. You add your attachments. And again, your attachments are going to be your offer letter. If you need an email with additional information, that email, your degree audit, and if you're an international student studying on an F1 visa, your I-20 with your updated work authorization. And you're asked to confirm that you've uploaded that. And then we have a policy affirmation that you agreed to, and you put in your signature. I'm going to signature for our demo student, Tink Adams. And the registration start date. And you have the option to save this as a draft and come back to it and submit it later. Or if you've got everything, you can click submit. So that is the process for registering your internship for credit. I wanted to walk you through that because there's a number of pitfalls and we only have a few days before everything is due. Okay. Before I turn it over to all questions, I want to just help you identify some things you can get out of your internship. So this is probably obvious that you get real world experience, but it's worth emphasizing. And you can learn if you fit in a company's culture. You can learn whether or not you like a big company, a small design studio. You can see, sorry, I'm checking the chat at the same time I'm trying to talk to you all. You can see what kind of work environments you like. You can network and develop professional relationships. This is a really great one that can help you later on in your career, whether it leads directly to a job or just helps you build your creative community. Obviously, you're going to get qualifications and experience that you can lean on your resume. And you can identify and strengthen talents. Internships, international internships can absolutely qualify for internship credit. All right. So those are some of the things you can get out of your internship. Tips while on an internship, things to help make the internship successful. You want to dress appropriately. So ask what the dress code is for your internship site so that you can match that. Understand company policies and procedures. This is really important that you understand how the company where you work, where you're working functions. And this is really especially important. I thought this, keep information confidential. This is really key and is often one of those key policies that you are going to be asked to sign off on, is whether or not you have to keep the work that you're doing confidential. So you always want to ask what you can share and what you can't share. You want to find out if you can put the work you do in your internship in your portfolio. You may even be asked to sign a what's called an NDA or a non-disclosure agreement. So those are very important things to find out about. We hear from employers that students often don't understand the importance of confidentiality. So that's why I'm spending a little bit of time on it. This is going to be an expectation on your employer's part, is that you keep things that you learn at the internship confidential and you don't share them with anyone outside the company. Sometimes outside your team even. You're going to establish a work schedule with your supervisor and you want to stick to that. And if anything changes, if you have to call out sick, if anything happens to you, you want to really communicate those changes to your supervisor. Keep your phone on silent. That's probably most of you do anyway. You're used to that from class. Things while you're in your internship, something else we hear from supervisors is that students don't take enough initiative. Once you have your basic training period is over and you kind of have a grasp on what you're doing in the internship, employers really like it when you suggest new ideas or when you come up with things to work on your own. So take initiative. Remain open to new ideas and collaboration. Stay curious and engaged, and follow through on the tasks that you've been given. So those are all some key things to help you succeed on your internship. And then when it comes to ending your internship, schedule a closing conversation with your supervisor. They may do a final evaluation meeting with you, but if they don't, definitely schedule something so that you can get an overview of how you did on the internship and see what your supervisor recommends as next steps for you. Send a formal thank you letter or a formal thank you email to anybody at your site that was really helpful to you. Saying thank you really cements solid relationships and helps people remember you positively for the future. Collect business cards, email addresses, LinkedIn information, connect to people on LinkedIn. Know how to get a hold of the people that you worked with during your internship again once you leave. That can help with that thank you letter, but also just for future networking and building your creative community. And then be sure to update your resume. And again, we can really help you with that either through an email review of your resume or you can meet with a career advisor. All right. So I've done the demo. I've talked to you about the nitty-gritty of registering your internship for credit. Again, the deadline for this term, if you'd like to do this, is Friday. But I also know that you have lots of internship questions. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. And we'll take the rest of those questions offline.